Greetings and salutations, I am Scojo in 360, and I came up with the title for this video because, I'm self-taught on Premiere, and every time I'd go onto YouTube to find out what to do next, they'd always be, well, once you've got your folders optimized. And really what I wanted to know was, I got the stuff installed, what do I do now? I know that seems simple to a lot of the people who are already up and going, but if you're not, let's just start from right there. We'll get you into your first sequence, we'll call it a day, we'll move on from there in the next chapter. How's that? All right, let's go. Okay, the first few things I want to assume basically is that you at least have the ability to have put some footage onto your computer, and you should have created, like I called this first sequence, you see there? So now I've got a folder for the sequence I'm about to show you. I also have a folder that's open to show where my Adobe Premiere is right there, but I actually like to use it down here. And then also what I'm going to be using for the footage for the building of this sequence is going to be a thing I did for Burning Man a few years ago, and all the footage is in this folder. So that's where we're going to start for now. Now to open Premiere, you can either do it in the Applications folder, or you can go down. What I like to do is use kind of the quick link there, and opens up Premiere. There we go. We are going to start from scratch as though we've never done anything for it before. What it's going to do is give me an option to decide how I want to proceed once it gets loaded. As you can see, I've already been doing some work on my Burning Man, but we're going to start a new project. Hit New Project. Go figure. Now I'm going to go over and browse through what I've got. Okay, I'm going to go into my Scojo in 360 file. First sequence, there we go. That's where I want to put it, in the first sequence folder. Choose, boom. Now you're going to want to choose the name and the title for the overall project. You may make smaller sequences within it, but this is the name of the overall project. Let's call this My First Butt Kicking in Premiere. Don't ever make a title that long. It just sounds like, you're going to go out and kick butt. So here we go. Now we're into Premiere. What do you do next? Well, you've got to get your files. Remember in that folder where I had Burning Man? I'm now going to go to File. I'm going to click Import. And then I am going to track down where there's my Burning Man folder. There's the footage that I had. These have all been named, which we'll get around to later, but basically all the footage that I shot in Burning Man is in this folder. I just hit Import. It does its little chewing because I was at Burning Man for 10 days and I didn't go to prison, so at least you know that I had a good time, but maybe not too good of a time. Alright, so now we've got the footage from Burning Man into my folder in Premiere. So let's go in and start our first sequence. File, New, go to Sequence. Now here are on the left all your options. They're not all that different, so I'm just going to point you towards a quick and easy one. I go to DSLR, which is a digital single lens reflex. You don't need to know that. But anyway, let's just go with 30 frames per second, depending on your camera, what it shoots, but we'll just stick with 30 frames per second. And I'll come down, click here, and do butt kicking sequence. Enter. Boom. Now I'm all set up and I can just start cranking. Now, one thing that could save you a lot of time is if you don't know what your phone shot, don't worry about it, because let's just take a for example, this little click here, bikes at night. Now I drag that into my sequence. Now if the stuff that I shot is not the same as the sequence that you originally set up, watch. Boom. Okay, so what happens is it asks, hey, this is different than what I was expecting. Should I keep the existing settings that I set up or change the sequence settings? So if I hit change sequence settings, it will take the settings of the footage I have and make that the now default system. So boom, now we're going. We've got our first clip in, and there's my bikes at night. All right, well, that's a lot to absorb for now. We've got you up to getting your first sequence started. Thank you so much for joining me on another Adobe for Beginners program. We're going to keep on moving down the line, so if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're super rad, hit that little bell on the side. Yeah, and we will get a notification out to you every time I make new content. I am Scojo in 360. I love you all. I am out of here.